All right, hey everyone, welcome back to another lecture on Salesforce Makes Sense. And this is use case video number 9 of record triggered flows, which is part of our Flow Builder Masterclass, right? Our Flow Builder curriculum. Let's quickly take a look at the problem statement and let's try to solve it, right? For those of you who have started feeling confident around creating screen flows and then creating record triggered flows, I would encourage pause the video right here, take a look at the statement and try to resolve it yourself. And if you're able to do it, let me know in the comments, right? And for those of you who want to see the solution and also parallelly do it on your screen, let's jump into it. So count the number of contracts created for a contact where contract is created in the last 12 months and stamp that on the contact record. Wow, I just read it without realizing what I read because this was more like contract, contact, created, and stuff like that. All right, let's read it again. So what we need to do is we need to count the number of contracts, right? Which is against which parent object? It is the contact, which is rather no one but the customer, right? And the contract should be created in the last 12 months, right? And as soon as we have that data, we need to stamp the total count on the parent contact record. So we know there are different ways of doing this. It's just a use case. Don't quote me on the fact that, Himanshu, why are you using record triggered flows on this? No, that's not the idea. The idea is to show you a scenario, right? We can use declarative lookup rollup summaries, right? DLRS, that can be used, or we can even use like something like a roll up created a custom, right? It can be done via custom mechanism also, but I wanted you to see how we can do it if some sort of scenario like this presents itself, and how can we achieve it via flows. All right, so what's our object on which we should write our flow on? That's the part here. It should be the contract object, right? Every time a contract is created, I want to just check for the customer, right? For the customer who's currently part of the contract, fetch me all the number of contracts he has been part of. And as soon as that happens, I want to store that number on the parent contact record, right? That is one approach, correct? So let's go ahead and do it. I am on the Salesforce org and let's take a look at the object first of all. So we have the contract object, right? So let's search contract. This is right here, and if I click on the new button, you will notice that we have something that's called customer signed by. Now let's take this as our contact reference, right? This is the customer, this is the contact, right? So you have a start date, you have a contract term, and then all of this fields. So as soon as you create, let's say, a contract record with Brian Dent, immediately there should be a field on Brian Dent record or the contact record that should say 1, right? Let's try to achieve that. Okay, so first of all, we'll create that field on the parent contact object. Let's go to setup. All right, so our field is created. Now what we want to do is we want to populate this field via flow, right? So let's go ahead and create a new flow. Now what kind of flow should this be? This should be something that runs on the background, does not need any user input. So we'll create a record triggered flow. So I'll just go ahead and say new flow. And we'll create a new flow, and that would be a record triggered flow, right? Now what should be the object? The object should be whenever a record is created, and which record? The contract record. All right, so I want to do this only when the contract record is created. All right, what is my entry condition? There's nothing, right? So there's no entry condition. Every record that is created, and actually we can have an entry condition. We can simply say all conditions, and there should be a customer tag to it, right? So customer signed by ID is nothing but the contact record. So this should not be null. So that means you have a customer who has been linked, right? So if this should not be null, should be my entry condition. All right, and I want to just say action and related records. All right, let's go ahead and save it. I'll call it record triggered flows number 9. Count number of contracts per contact. All right, for the last 12 months only. All right. Keep in mind, this should only be for the last 12 months, which means let's say you have a contact record and under that you have about 24 contracts, but out of which in the last 12 months, only 13 have been the ones that have been created. The count should only show 13. Make sense? So let's go ahead and try doing that. Now, I'll simply come here and I'll say get records, right? What I want to do is I want to fetch all contract records. All right. Now, what is the object I want to fetch? I want to fetch my child contract records, and my condition should be that the customer signed by ID should be the same ID as the current records customer signed by ID. Correct? So I'm just trying to figure out all the contracts that are already linked to my current contact record. So I want to store all the records. Right? Now that I have all the contract records fetched, what I want to do is I want to count them. Correct? So if I want to count them, let's go ahead and create a new assignment, right? And in this assignment, I want to create a variable and I want to store this count information in this variable. So I'll say total contract count is the name of the variable. And sorry, this is the label. So I'll say counting number of contracts, right? Let's remove the API name and just refill it so that it is legit. And now I want to create a new variable, and this variable will be of type variable, and I'll call it contract counter, right? What should be the data type? The data type should be number, and it should have no decimal places, and it should be, let's say, available for input. And I'll just say done. Just needs to be one variable, right? So now contract counter, what should be the value? The value should be equals count the entire collection. So you see, this equals count is something that's available out of the box and lets you count the number of records that exist in this particular record collection variable. How easy is it, right? Or else what would we have done? We would have just created a loop. We would have iterated on each item that's present in this particular record collection variable and created an assignment wherein we would add one every time, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 and so on and so forth, right? But now, since we have this option available that's called equals count, you can simply create a variable, and just by using one assignment, you'll be able to count the number of contracts. All right, what did we miss out here? We need to ensure that the number of the contract creation date, right? So the created date, correct, should not be greater than or should not be beyond the last 12 months, correct? So how do we do that? So I need to say should always be greater than. I need to create a new resource, and this would be another formula. I should say 12 months prior only, correct? So this should be a date type field, and I want to insert today's date minus 365 days. So that's 12 months prior, correct? Or I can even do things like, I believe I have add months, or I have, if I say add months here, I can remove the 12 months because you might have leap year sometime. So I can simply say add months and put minus 12 here. So if I say check syntax, this says this is invalid. Let's see, add months, date comma num. Yeah, so this accepts two parameters. So I'll say add months. The first parameter should be the date, which is today's date, comma minus 12 should be the second parameter. So if I put a minus here, this will take it back to the last 12 months. And if I put a plus, if I put normal 12, it would add 12 months to it. All right. So now understand what I did here. I simply said add minus 12 months to my current date. That means 365 days back or 366 days back in case of a leap year, the formula should hold this particular information. And I'm saying that the created date of the contract should only be greater than 12 months prior, which means it should only be greater than 365 days from today, since today, not from today. Make sense? Or did I confuse you? Let's look at this again. What I want is I want only the contracts which are 12 months old, or or I don't want to filter them out, the remaining ones, right? So what I did is I created a formula and I simply put that formula as give me the date which is the date 365 days previously from today. So I used a function that's called add months, and I removed 12 months from today's date. So it went back 12 months. Now, which means if today's date is 11 January 2024, this takes you back to 10th, or I believe 12 January or 11 January 2023, right? Based on whether it considers today's date as the date or not, based on the time zone of the company or the org. It takes you back 365 days. And now I'm saying that the contract that I want to choose should, the created date should be more than that. So it should not go beyond 365 days from today or 12 months from today, right? So that's the right filter that we want to put so that the count is not incorrect. All right. So once we do that on the get records and we create the assignment, the final nail in the coffin is to update the record. Now, which record do I want to update? I want to update the contact record, right? So I'll say update counter on parent contact. And I want to specify the condition that I want to update a contact record. Which contact record do I want to update? I want to update the same contact record where the ID of the contact is equal to the current record ID. Correct? And what do I want to update? I want to update the counter field, right? Let's see number, I believe what is the field called? Number of contracts. This should be equal to what? Should be equal to the assignment that we have done on the contract counter variable. All right, let's give it this a save and let's say activate and let's debug it or let's try it. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll create a new contract and I'll just associate it with an account. I'll associate it with the contract, and now the start date should be 18th, term should be 24, and nothing else is mandatory. So I'll just go ahead and say save. Okay, so the record got saved. And if I now take a look at the parent customer, let's see what happened there. So if you see, the number of contracts is 1. All right, what if I go ahead and try to create another contract here? Let's go to contract. Let's say, do I have the clone option? I don't have it here. What if I go inside the contract? Can I clone the contract here? I can, yes. Right. So I'll simply say this is another contract and this is, let's say, save. So I created another contract, right? If I go to Brian Dent's record and see the details tab, the number of contracts are 2. Now this will keep on incrementing every time you create a new contract. Make sense? Great. So that was our assignment. What I want you to do as part of this challenge is I want you to take up a challenge on this particular use case and figure out a way to subtract 1 from the number of contracts whenever a contract is deleted on that contract. Correct? So try to add another flow wherein whenever a record is deleted, you subtract 1 from that particular number so that you get the correct information, right? It's not that the contracts will be created. It will also be that the contracts might get deleted. So whenever they are deleted and they come or they fall within the 12-month range, you need to just subtract them. Make sense? Great. So that was use case number 9. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.